Hello there. Right, I'm in the heart of North Wales and I'm going to what used to be a secret RAF storage facility for ordnance, bombs, stuff like that. It's been deserted for quite a while now, and so I thought to myself, I'll come out, have a look at what it's all about, and hopefully tell you some of the history about this place and what it was used for and what happened at the end of it as well. I don't think there's any secret to this abandoned bomb disposal place, because there's a path going towards it, which actually I'm a bit surprised really. Watch other people's videos and it doesn't show you this. I thought that it may have been sort of it would have been covered up so you can't get into it, but there's a fence here. But that's the quarry down there. There's two quarries down here. You don't want to go in them. That's the last thing you want to see. Let's go find this secret quarry on this secret path. The road you see as I'm walking down was the infrastructure of this place was put in by the local council, because apparently it was going to be an industrial estate. I'm not exactly sure what happened after that, but I know the Electric Mountain, the hydro company, have since bought this area. They're trying to turn it into some kind of hydroelectric plant, I've been told, or I've read. So at the moment nothing's happening. You see, it's overgrown everywhere, but nothing's happening at this present time. But you know, just if you're interested, just keep looking at the local Welsh news, and no doubt it may come up with something different. Well, you can see it now, but that's where it is. That's the facility. Don't know where I'm heading. Right, let's figure out a way again down this place. I suppose this is what happens when you start to explore urban areas. A few war wounds. Well, we're at the llamberis RAF disposal site for, well, not disposal site, initially it wasn't, it was for storing ordnance for the Second World War. So we'll give you a bit of history about it. It was basically formed out of an old quarry, which obviously the RAF decided to commandeer and start to design so they could fit these storage of bombs. Initially, I'm not sure if this had a roof or not, or it was actually inside there, but it had something like 8 metres of slate on top to try and cover, to hide it basically. There's one way in, which I showed you before, on that way, and the other one I'm not quite sure. It may have been another route in as well. There's several arch roofs, as you can see, and each one, as I said, as you go inside there is apparently a lift, so when the train went in, which I think is actually that side there, I can see where the railway line would have run to drop the ordnance off, and then they would store it. But there's lifts inside here as well, where they would be able to put them into the lifts and then take them up and store them wherever they need to store them, basically. Back in 1942, they had a collapsed roof here, and apparently it buried something like 14,000 tonnes or pounds of ordnance, which non-exploded. It took quite a while to dig it all out in order to free it again, but probably no casualties as far as I know. These tunnels will take, I've heard they're that long, they will take something like 27 carriages full of ordnance. Now that means they're fairly deep. After the roof collapse, it took something like 9 months to actually clear this site to try and get the bombs out of it, and they did it through the back door, which is another quarry at the other side of this lot. Right, we've got some other people here looking at what we're looking at, so let's go and have a look round before they turn up.
Llamberis RAF Reserve Depot in North Wales. In 1939, 2 open quarries were bought by the Air Ministry for use as ammunition storage. The depot consisted of 2 levels, with access to the lower level by either narrow gauge railway or by truck for delivery of ammunition. Bombs could be moved through the 3 levels of the site by means of lifts within the building. The store was ready to take its deadly cargo by May 1941. On the 25th of January 1942, over half of the roof collapsed, burying 14,000 tons of bombs, which totalled around 20% of the amount of bombs the RAF had at its disposal. Luckily, no bombs detonated. The roof collapse buried the wagons and blocked the only goods exits which were at the front of the store, probably from the A4086 as it is called today. This collapse was due to the amount of slate that was laid on the roof to disguise it from enemy aircraft. Over the next 9 months, most of the bombs were recovered through the back entrance of the store, which was an exit to another slate quarry that is water filled. The roof was never reinstalled and is now exposed to the elements. If you visit, then this is what you will see today. The site had only been operational for 6 months when this collapse occurred. Despite this, the building was still used until 1956, mainly for the disposal of ordnance from the Second World War. In 1966, a team were finally sent in to clear all the remaining unexploded bombs on the site. This took nearly 6 years to complete. Servicemen were working at Llamberis through much of the Cold War, clearing the weapons that were abandoned there. The site today is about 100 metres in length by 60 metres wide, with walls to each storeroom about 12 metres high. The area was a cut and cover construction formed of the bedrock of a large slate quarry. There were 2 levels and the site is very compact, albeit large. A similar construction was used at Harper Hill in Buxton, but never used again. The ceiling of the lower levels forms the floor of the upper levels, which has an arch roof. One of the galleries is wider and slightly higher than the others, and has a single-track railway line running into it full length. Between June 1943 and July 1956, when the unit closed, it had been used as a bomb store, a demolition area, and a burning pit. However, not all ordnance was cleared when it closed. In 1969, the decision was taken to clear the entire site of explosives. The task was given to 71 Maintenance Unit EOD Flight from Royal Air Force Bicester. Over 20 million gallons or 91 million litres of water and sludge were pumped out of the quarry. By April 1973 the lake was emptied, revealing incendiary bombs and high explosive detonators. In total, approximately 85,000 tonnes of slate and debris were recovered and disposed of. 352 tonnes of explosive items, together with 1,420 tonnes of non-explosive ordnance debris were removed. The task was completed in October 1975.
Listen to the acoustics.
Hello? Hello?
Bit spooky. Right, this is one of the entrances, or the entrance for the railway line. This is here. Oh, we can go. I don't know how we can get in, but we'll go down a little bit anyway and see what it's like. Oh yeah, I can see. I don't think I need a light here. Nope. You see how it's curved? Usually one of the reasons why that is because if you have a blast, I suppose it's less chance of it sort of like going straight through. Possibly. I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but isn't a curve, and only thing I can think of is that. The line in here looks as though it's been concrete sprayed, to be honest with you. Whether that was done in the 40s, I don't know. Yeah, that is done at a later date just to keep it so it doesn't collapse. Maybe I'll stop water running through it. A really strange configuration of the floor. I speak to the lads, a couple of lads outside here, and they're saying it's possibly that it would try and deflect any blast that if it happened, at least it wouldn't sort of maybe disperse it, possibly. It is an unusual thing, but this could be like a personnel entrance. Well, I hope you liked my little video of the Llamberis RAF bomb storage facility, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra! I'd like to say a big thank you to Connor and Max, who were students at Bangor University, for coming round, having a look at what I was looking at and discussing what we were looking at. Thanks very much, lads.